think of Paris and the jet-setters of PSG come to mind. But they date only from 1970, and there was football in the French capital a long time before that. Red Star FC was formed in 1897 and is still an important part of France's football family. Patrice Haddad is the current president.
It's the second oldest football club in France. It's been here through times of war. It's got an atypical name, Red Star, which isn't the name of a town or city, but is rather a brand. Over the years, it's always managed to return to the spotlight, even after very difficult times. And of course, we've had great players. I think our current home ground, though it may look poor, has a soul that carries the imprint of all the important players who've walked these corridors and played on this field.
The club may be currently languishing in the third tier of French football, but it has a rich history. They've won the cup 5 times. They were one of the first French clubs to turn professional. And the standout fact is that the man who founded Red Star, Jules Rimet, went on to have a huge impact on the game around the world as president of FIFA.
Jules Rimet was the founder of the club, together with his brother Modeste, who became club secretary, and his brother-in-law, Jean de Pissac, who became the first president of Red Star. Pissac soon left his post as president, and Rimet succeeded him. So Jules Rimet founded the club, became one of its first presidents, and fully engaged himself in the business of the club.
Red Star also had a far more prestigious address in Rimet's day than their current one. Gilles Ceylon has written several books on the club he's dedicated his life to following.
Red Star's first home ground was on the Champ de Mars at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. It was a small club in Paris, and under pressure from real estate development around the Eiffel Tower and the Champ de Mars, the club was eventually forced to move to Meudon for a couple of years. Later, they came back to Rue-Nelaton, not far from the Eiffel Tower and the Seine. But they had to move from there too. Construction started of the Winter Velodrome, the famous indoor bicycle track. That was built in 1909 on the home ground of Red Star. And after that, Red Star moved out to Saint-Germain.
While the new Parisian upstarts have managed to attract some of the biggest names in world football, Red Star have managed to pull off a couple of decent signings of their own. Former French international Steve Marley is the club's sporting director, and after a successful playing career, he's hoping to return Red Star to the big time.
All the players have embraced our goal, which is getting back to professional football. We also have the advantage of being in Paris, an attractive city in itself. A project like ours in Paris is, of course, much more attractive than the same project in a provincial town. This was one of the reasons that convinced experienced players, like David Bellion, for example, who wanted to move closer to Paris to sign. Our project has met his own desire to come to Paris.
David Bellion signed for Manchester United on the same day as Cristiano Ronaldo. He's returned to his hometown, a move which has in turn reignited his passion for the game. After many seasons at the top level, he'd become somewhat disillusioned with all the pressure.
It feels like I've gone back in time. When you see the stadium, you don't feel that you're in the current decade, with all the business influence surrounding football. There are old people who come to the ground every Friday. I really like this. We can feel it out on the pitch. We feel it from the way people dress. We feel it from the little working-class bar across the street. These days, social media seems to be the place to discuss football, something which used to happen in the pub. I really like it here. It reminds me of when I was in Cannes and would go to see local matches. It's like going back to my childhood.
Red Star have a strong reputation for developing young talent, and with Paris being such a cultural melting pot, there's every chance that the next Henry, Ribéry or Benzema could emerge from the Red Star ranks. It's something all in the club are hoping for.
Our feet are anchored in our history. and I think this club has the potential to return to a high level. We dream about becoming the second biggest football club in Paris after PSG. For the moment, our project is split up into several parts. Firstly, we'll try to get back into the second division, and then we'll try to go further and reach the top level. If we reach Ligue 1, then we'll want to play in European competition. The ideal would be to reach the highest level, but we need time for that, and we mustn't take shortcuts. The first stage is getting to the second division. This is our priority at the moment.
The club came close to going out of business in 2003, but is now in rude health. With the vast sums of money being spent across town by PSG, Red Star certainly has the potential to become a cult club, an alternative choice for the discerning fan.
After 120 years of history, there's nothing we should change. We should follow the same red line the club has always followed. This is where we see the important social role a football club can play. It goes beyond the first team, the big show on the pitch, or the prominence of the club. Its main role is a social one, especially in a difficult area like Saint-Denis. A decade or so ago, when the club was in jeopardy, the whole district suffered. This is what we have to understand. The club is attractive to a large part of the youth around here. We keep alive the memory of our forebears, while always remembering the interests of the young.